Right, hopefully we're live. I think we're dropping frames big time a little bit here, but g'day again, once again, guys and girls. Welcome back to the Race Spec Esports channel. It is a Tuesday night, which means it's regional leagues night. We're back once again for Pacific Series to finish off this for season 4 for tier number 4 here for the finale. As we've already got some dramas already, which I'll try and get to a little bit later on. But the finale of season 4 brings us to the beautiful track of the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. 4.309 kilometers, 2.677 miles, 2 DRS zones, 1 down the front straight, 1 between turns 3 and 4. 15 corners make up this track, 10 to the left and 5 to the right. Pretty much nothing else going on there except the tyre data. We're using the hardest set of compounded tyres around this place. Or we should be usually around this place, but it may be a little bit different because we take it now to the live stream. I bring you to a very wet Interlagos, as it's better known as. A very, very wet Interlagos by the looks of things. We've still got a bit under 12 minutes to go in the session currently. Already given me a warning here of YouTube for telling me this. Lower than the recommended bit rate. I don't give a damn, really. There's, oh, hello. There's a, where's the McLaren? Let's jump aboard here with Black Moon here. As, well, that's why, because late, who's actually in the Max Verstappen car. I think he joined very, very late in the quali session. Seems to have crashed out somewhere along the line. So, yeah, not the greatest of starts for him. Last out race winner. As we see the Alfa Romeo is currently leading the way at the moment, with Garlo's currently having the foot over his teammate hold-up man Dan with a 19.187 and a 19.262. The two Alfa Romeos. As somebody was way off the road there. It's Dan the racer, who's just reset the track. Probably not the great way to go off the track there. Must have had a little bit of a moment there, but I do apologise if the stream is probably a little bit, if it's dropping frames or having other issues. I think there's a little bit of weather around in my area, so I just wanted to take precautions on things. I mean, if I could, I probably would have had a co-commentator, but I just wanted to play it safe. So I apologise to Alex Pato, who of course co-commentated with me back in Spain, but I just wanted to play it on the safe side of things. But I really appreciate you helping me out coming at the Spanish Grand Prix, and hopefully, no doubt, we can commentate sometime again in the near future. Hopefully, maybe I've got a little bit better internet, but I'm not really holding my breath. So, got the yellows in sector 1 and 2. It's one of the Ferraris. No way that would be the case. Oh well, yeah, because I was just on board with Drow. He's out of fuel, so that's probably why. So. That's Trent Sandals, 13th at the moment. He'll be starting from the rear of the grid. Albino Josh is also retired. Josh Sambin is also at the rear of the grid, and he's got a qualifying ban, I think, for this race. So I don't think we'll be seeing him. Well, hopefully we don't see him for this qualifying session. So we've got 15 runners with us tonight for the finale this weekend. On this Tuesday, I should say. It's not too bad of a turnout, I've got to say. We are missing a few people, like I said, well, 4 people to be precise. The one I definitely know of is El Tonki, of course. So Reedy's the lone Mercedes driver this weekend. So he'll be doing, hopefully, El Tonki, if you're watching this back, as there goes the Racing Point in and out. Hopefully Reedy will do you proud for the Mercs. But obviously, I mentioned this before, last week, Supercharge. His wheel unfortunately broke out last week, and it was another 5-place grid penalty for, is that Anthro F1 boy? His F1 boy's off the road here, as there's a few guys on the intermediate tyres, so I'll try to catch up as he gets disqualified now for going the wrong way. Oh man, you gotta love this game, don't you, really? So he'll be starting from pretty much dead last. Now in position 15. Not on purpose, I wouldn't have thought anyway, but just let me double check to see if I missed anybody for Tier 4. I don't think there's really much else there in Tier 4, so there we go. So not the greatest of starts. Let's have a look at the race director, shall we? Now, I did see earlier on there was some penalties. So Anthro's got a 5-place grid penalty for collision with Tent Sandals. Trent got the same thing, so they'll be starting from the rear. Who else we got? There's Anthro again, the collision with 5-place grid penalty. I assume that'll be for another collision with F1 boy, as F1 boy got disqualified as well, but didn't get a 5-place grid penalty, so that's not too bad. So Anthro will probably be more than likely starting from the rear of the grid as well. We've still got 7.5 minutes remaining here. There's still a few guys out on wets, but there's a few guys actually pushing the limits on the intermediate tyres, which is not a bad option, I've got to say. They've got to try something a little bit different. Of course, the championships are pretty much done and dusted in this tier as well. Probably still a few minor placings to sort out. Like I mentioned earlier, Pacific Tier 3, which you haven't seen, go check it out. Or if you haven't watched back last week's live stream, then I do urge you to go check that out as well, because it was certainly entertaining to say the least. I'll just do quickly. There was a few stewards' inquiries from last week. If I can, that's the wrong tier. Where are we? So I know Galaz, who finished, I think, third, a semi-pro now to the top 17.901. So it looks like the track is starting to just quicken up a little bit, and the Inters look like the choice of tyre for this, probably the remaining of this qualifying session, I would think. Now, I know Galaz was in third in the race, but then got his 3-second time penalty removed, or one of his 3-second time penalties removed, so that effectively put him back up to second. The semi-pro gets a little bit sideways coming out of Descida de Largo at turn 4 and 5. So that dropped El Tonki back down to third, and there was another incident. I think semi-pro may have got a 15-second time penalty for an incident from memory. It was the driver on your screen right about now. So he dropped back to 10th, and Dan the Racer jumped back up to 9th. So how's it going, Supercharge? Hopefully you're staying well, mate. And I did see you got a little bit sick, and your new wheelbase has not come yet. So that coach earlier on, F1 Hawk champion of Tier 2. Yeah, okay. So I think we've pretty much crowned majority of the Pacific tiers. I'm sure that will be the case. I'm not sure about the Euros and Americas. I don't know where they're at, because I've been keeping an eye on their streams. But, well, not that there's too many streams on Euro I've seen. It looked like a bit of a corner cut there, and, well, that's definitely a corner cut from the back of that Ferrari. But 17.718 now for semi-pro. And the race has now gone into second on an 18.071. Oh, it's coming tomorrow. Are you kidding me? Should have paid a delivery driver a bit more just to get your wheel a bit quicker. But, no, it's fine. It's no doubt getting yourself up to grips with the new wheel and prepared for season 5 next season. And as always, as Prost Professor now goes to the front row, they go 17.819. That's a big thanks as always to Go Workplace Training for sponsoring majority of Season 4, and of course they'll be back again as a sponsor for Season 5 of the Pacific Series. Also, if there is any sponsors out there that are watching, if they want to sponsor the Euro tiers or the Americas tier or even the RS leagues, I'd probably get in touch with the Race Spec social media channels. Their links are down in the description below. If you want to come and join the Discord channel, there's a link down to that in the description. There's also the link down for the GT Sport League if you're interested in that. It's down there as well. It's and also if you want to follow my links, they're down in the description as well. But if you haven't already, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel already. Subscribe if you haven't already. 16.719 now for Galaz. Puts him back on provisional pole for the time being. So it looks like the Inter's a tyre choice for now. I think this will probably be the remainder for qualifying. That everybody will be on the intermediate tyres. So, but also, once you subscribe, turn on the bell notification to make sure that you don't miss out on any of the live streams when they do go live. But I do apologise. There probably will be a bit of drop frames throughout the stream. Don't know why that is. I'm hoping it does get a little bit better, but. Like I always say, I do keep it recording just in case something goes awry. Hold up man Dan now back to the top 16 6.32. So the Alfa Romeo driver's looking pretty decent at the moment. As one of the Mercs just leaves the pit lane. It's Reedy. So you probably want to get out of the way of the Alfa Romeo in the background. That was definitely hold up man Dan. 16, you see 3 guys in the 16s currently at the moment. We see maybe it lower it to maybe a low 16 or maybe somewhere around the low 16s. So there's the potential around this track. We've only got the, what do we got? 10 drivers left, I think it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah. Well, Josh Sandberg obviously is serving his qualifying ban, so he won't be taking part in this quality session, so he'll be starting, well, I think from about 13th, I reckon it might be, because obviously it'll be in and around there. There's obviously going to be grid penalties to play out as well. Still plenty of time. This Drow now goes to the 3rd position as hold up man Dan goes even quicker, 16.368. Looking good at the moment. Semi-Pro's just left the lane. Well, he's out, actually on his out lap, I should say, but we've got not much time up their sleeve, so if they want to do 2 runs, they're really cutting it fine, or maybe they're just trying to do the 1 run. Don't really know what the weather conditions are like for the race, so have to play it as we see it. So it's hold up man Dan currently at the moment. Can anyone split the Alfa Romeo boys or even jump, get on top of the Alfa Romeo boys at the moment? Let me know down in the live chat. If somebody else make a play into this. James Cruz has improved out of 5th with a 17.385. Net Alpha Tauri. Prost Professor, I don't think he'll be coming back out, so that might be his qualifying done and dusted. Who else we got in the pit lane? I don't think there's too many else. No, I think that's pretty much it, and probably Josh Salmon as well. So let's see if we can find some drivers here. Anthro here in 9th, goes to 6th. 17.596 and the fastest final sector. So you might see that from a few drivers. Drow's invalidated, but he'll go again. Where are we at? Dan, the race is just about to set up a liar. Reedy's invalidated, so could he have improved? Yes, he would have done with 21, but would have stayed where he was. Hold up man Dan probably did a cool down lap and he's going again. Under 30 seconds to go here. Black Moon, 17.057, does improve to 5th. He can go again if he wants to. So Santho just pulling out of the way, so it looks like his quali is done and dusted. So now we wait to see if anybody can topple the Alfa Romeo drivers. Can the Alpha Tauri possibly? James Cruz with about 5 seconds left. He'd be cutting it fine. But does improve and stay 6th only. What about one of the Alphas? Garlaz goes to the top with a 16.240. Semi-Pro. He's been quick. He goes to 4th. So he goes on the 2nd row of the group with his teammates. So looking good for the Ferrari-powered machines. Who's next? Prost Professor's done and dusted. So he won't be, obviously, I think he left the lane too late. So that probably would explain a lot. Where's Drow? He's cutting it mighty fine. He might have just run out of fuel, actually, so it means nothing, really. Here's Dan the Racer. Can he improve? Goes to 6th place. What about Reedy in 11th? He goes to 10th now. Can hold up man Dan jump his teammate? No, he can't. It's only 2nd spot. Does not improve at all. Here's Black Moon. He can't improve either. So we're just waiting on James Cruz. I think he's pretty much out of fuel. So that's your qualifying. So it's pretty much 2 by 2 by 2 by the looks of things on the grid. So we'll just wait for James and any other guys to retire. Well, so I think James will probably just finish across the line anyway. So yeah, that's fair enough. As he, well, just slashes his Alpha Tauri into the wall there. So that'll be a bit of work there to fix up his car. As we just wait on Anthro to retire from the qualifying or whatever his pit crew is done and dusted. And he got 1 minute and 30 left anyway, so there we go. We'll have another look at the qualifying results. We'll see whether it's still going to be wet in the race or not, whether it's going to be dry. But it's Garlaz that gets pole position here by 1:16.240. just about a tenth and a bit over his teammate hold-up man Dan. And it's the Ferraris on row 2 with Drow just nudging his teammate Semi-Pro there for 3rd and 4th. And Prost Professor and Dan the Racer are 2 racing points in row 3 of the grid. And Black Moon in 7th, James Cruz in 8th, Anthro in 9th, but it'll start from the rear. Reedy in 10th, and it's Delayed Late in 11th, Trent in 12th, Albino Josh 13th, Josh Sambert 14th, obviously with the quality ban, and F1 boy got himself disqualified. So while I wait and see what the weather's going to be like, what tyres these guys will start on, I'll take a quick breather and we'll be back. I think I've got the right tables. Had a quick drink, so we already know that the championship was pretty much done and dusted from Mexico, so everyone's just pretty much been having a little bit of fun around, but obviously Trent been doing that quite a bit, obviously, but he's leading still by 110 points currently over hold-up man Dan in 2nd. It's been interesting to see who finishes ahead in the Alfa Romeo fight, because I did see this last week. Obviously, these two are pretty good mates, and they've worked together pretty well as teammates because they were switching positions right, left, and centre back in Monaco. So it'll be interesting to see who gets the braking rights out of Alfa Romeo in that battle for 2nd in the championship. There's Dan the Racer 4th, El Tonki in 5th, James Cruz in 6th, Black Moon 7th, Prost Professor, Singer and Goat, who's not with us tonight, and Delayed Late with that race victory last week, rounds out your top 10. Quickly over to the constructors. We know Alfa Romeo are the constructors champions for season 4, so they cannot be beaten. I think Williams are pretty much safe in position 2, and probably the same can be said for Racing Point in P3. There's still minor battles going on in the lower down in the constructors. So Mercedes in 4th, Red Bull in 5th. So only 10 points separating those guys. And McLaren is 6th, AlphaTauri in 7th, and it's Renault who dropped their head into 8th in the constructors, ahead of Haas in 9th, but by only 5 points. And then Ferrari, obviously, we pretty much dead last. Doesn't matter where they finish up in the race. I think they'll be finishing dead last in this race. So, and again, I do apologise for if there's dropped frames or stream lagging a little bit. To do with my internet, so hopefully it does get a little bit better. So let's look and see who's gone on what. I'm a little bit surprised actually that none of these guys are doing an opposite strategy around here, but anybody can pick whatever tyre choice they want. So James Cruz and Josh Sambert, F1 boy, Trent Sandals and Anthro on the mediums, everybody else on softs. So I'm a bit surprised no one at the front maybe went for mediums, or maybe they feel like this is the right strategy to go with potentially for this race. So we shall see how this pans out. So here we go. For one final time in Tier 4, we had the 5 red lights. And away we go here at the Brazilian Grand Prix. A good start there from the pole sitter. I think Galaz, he leads into turn 1. I think one of the Ferraris is putting pressure on hold-up man Dan into turn 1. As he cuts the corner a little bit, he just managing to hang on. There's contact between these two. So you can call it into Ferrari battle if you want to, because these cars are both powered by Ferraris. I think we've got through relatively cleanly as we go through to Jacinto del Lago for the first time. Dan goes a little bit wide there, but just manages to hold off the Ferrari Charger. I think it's Semi-Pro to 3rd. It is. So he's jumped his teammate up the start. And I think Dan the Racer's jumped his teammate Prost Professor as well. In the background, one of the cars way off the road there. That's Josh Sandman. There's yellows already in Sector 2. Why is that for? Not sure why. It probably was for Josh, but trying to find out whether he's got damage or not. This is not the camera angle I want, Cody's. It doesn't really help this camera shot either. So, so far, I think we've relatively cleanly. Looks like he has got a bit of damage on the left-hand side as Josh Sandman, so his race has not got off to the greatest of starts. And it is Garlaz. Nice, got a nice margin, 1.2 seconds already as we cut to lap 2. 1:14.744, I should say, fastest lap of the race. It'll definitely get a lot quicker on this next lap. It's the Alfa Romeo 1-2 at the moment, and the 2 Ferraris in 3rd and 4th. And the Racing Points in 5th and 6th. And the racer may have a little bit to say on this with the 2 Ferrari boys. And Trent already up into 7th already. What is going on? As Reedy and James Cruz look like they're fighting for position, 10 and 11. James is on the medium compounded tyres and gets the spot. They've got their wings still intact by the looks of it, yes. So, like I said, Altonki, if you're watching, Reedy's holding up the charge pretty well at the moment in the Mercs. Josh Sandman into the pit lane already, went to the soft compounded tyres and no doubt a change of front wing. There's a lot of lockups there in the background. There's Delayed Lane in 9th. It's a pretty decent pace last week in Monaco, but he's going to have to do it the hard way if he wants to have a good race result. As he locks up, that's Black Moon in the foreground as James Cruz goes wide at Zhongzhou. And that's an easy position there for Reedy. Carlos 10, now hold up man down at 10.270. He fastest up the race as now DRS gets enabled. I think Albino Josh has got by James Cruz, so James has dropped another spot. He's really struggling on those medium compounded tyres. Oh, someone's going way off the road. That's F1 boy. Has he got damage on the left-hand side? Yes, he does. So, as he's covering already, Drow has got a 3-second time penalty. Delayed Lane gets past Black Moon for 8th. And Reedy's going to go with him as well. So Black Moon drops a couple of spots from that. Nice job there from Reedy, but like I said, Trent already, 10 sandals, already up to the 7th spot. Just let me have a look here. Where did he start? He started in 14th and he's up into 7th. So he's kept everything clean and he's already making some inroads. So keep an eye on him. I think from memory at Japan, where I was obviously commentating in Tier 1 for that weekend, so I didn't obviously stream Tier 4, but he came from 16th on the grid and won the race at Japan, mind you. So keep an eye on Trent Sandals here in position 7. The Tier 4 champion. No doubt he'll be probably making the jump up to Tier 3 next season. Probably could have said the same thing for Chaposaurus Rex. He'll probably be making the jump to Tier 2 next season. Many probably champions in the tiers will probably be jumping up a tier for next season. So switch around, I think. Yes, hold up man Dan has cleared his teammates, so looks like Dan's got some good speed at the moment. He's got a little bit lesser fuel by the looks of things on aboard his car compared to his teammate. Going by the yellow indicator as Albino Josh and Black Moon were fighting for 10th and 11th. Still fighting, but not really a passing opportunity as James Cruz there. As F1 boy is in the lane for a set of hard compounded tyres, and he might be touch and go with Josh Salmon going by the mini-map. I think he's just managed to come out ahead, but of course he'll be on cold, hard tyres. So it'll take a little bit of a while to get up to temperature here. Start lap 5. As Dan the racer has now split the Ferraris, I think. As he goes in deep at turn 1. He'll have to push his way through as he goes a little bit wide. Probably wasn't the best to run, but I don't think Drow got the best either. Although saying that, he's just probably going to give the spot back. That's fair enough there. Don't want to really risk yourself too wide and get yourself a penalty. As Trent already 6th place now. 10 sandals. So what a great job this is from the start. This is really making some inroads here. F1 boy gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so his race is really going downhill, and now he retires from the Grand Prix, so must have had a terrible outlap. pretty much if he just finished the race, he would have scored a point, but not the greatest of season, as Semi-Pro has got into second spot. So Garlas has had a bit of an issue here somewhere along the line, or whether Semi's actually got some pace. And this is not going to help Garlas here. I think basically if he had a chance of winning the race, a chance to get second in the championship, as Dan the race has cleared Drow again, this time cleanly for fourth. They can try and chase after Garlas. Not quite in the 1 second window, as there's F1 boys car. Where is it? Hopefully it doesn't play any inroads, but thankfully it is ghosted. So I think his car's retired anyway, so it should just pull off to the side of the road, which it does. We'll obviously bring out the yellow flags anyway, but if it had basically been an Alfa Romeo 1-2 and Garlas had got ahead of Hold Up Man Dan, he would have got second in the championship. But on current rate, looking like Hold Up Man Dan's got a little bit more pace at the moment. Still late, I think, got by Prost Professor for 7th. That sounded badly. 7th position. He's chasing after Tent Sandals. Trent there in the foreground in the Williams on the lead medium compound tyre runner. So there's definitely one to look out for. I would assume majority of these guys, saying that, I did see there was a lot of guys in Tier 3 that were doing soft to hard. So, I mean, don't be surprised if maybe you see a few guys try that, or maybe do soft to medium. Or maybe in Trent's case, maybe do mediums to soft. That's a little bit wide there, Trent. Just be cautious, you don't get a warning for that one. It might come back to bite you later on. Where are we at? So let's have a look back here for the second spot. Garlas is in the DRS, but he's got no ERS. He's just burning it. There's no point just burning your ERS through the corners. You're just going to waste even more time and not even have the opportunity to get past. You're just going to pretty much buy your time. And if anything, you just stay behind one driver and just build up your ERS once again. And then when you feel ready enough or want to get close again, then you can have a crack. But he's not quite there at the moment. Now Dan the race is starting to close into this group as well. Drow's in here as well. Josh Salmon, a 3-second time penalty. Will probably be for cutting at the centre S's. The centre S, I should say, but second time penalty to race. But Dan's got a nice margin, 1.8 seconds. Probably can afford to save a little bit of fuel just in case, to make sure he gets to the end. See where his teammate's at. Not really quite close enough for a move here. Oh, as he's literally pushing Semi-Pro through the corner. And like I said earlier in Tier 3, turn 1's probably not the ideal passing spot, as a delayed lane 3-second time penalty. Turn 4's usually your best opportunity to go for a move. So he thinks about it. Turn you over and take off, Garlas. What are you doing? You're just wasting your ERS. You don't think there's a move, as delayed lane's got past 10 Sandals for 6 now. Looks like he's got some good speed on the soft compounded tyres. The soft's probably still got a little bit of grip left up their sleeve. Of course, the mediums will come back into it a little bit later. This Trent probably was just avoiding all the carnage earlier on. He's still in a good position at the moment. Half his grid spot, pretty much, so hard to take your eye off which way to go here at the moment. Hold Up Man Dan doing the right thing. Gap's only closing very fractionally, a little bit by 1.8 seconds the margin. It's 0.3 between Semi-Pro and Garlas in second and third. And it's Dan the race at fourth and Drow in fifth, who's putting him under pressure here. There's delayed late. Tent Sandals, Prost Professor, Reedy, and Albino Josh rounds out your 10, where he's under attack from Black Moon. Garlas thought about it, but thinks better of it. Oh, Semi-Pro gets a little bit wide there, but manages to avoid it. But it's usually a good time to just stick in behind one driver and just maybe build up the ERS a little bit. But then when you, like I said earlier, when you feel like you're ready for an attack, then you just go for it. Don't use ERS through here, for goodness sake. Be better to just have save up your ERS through the slower corners around this place anyway. So what's happened to Garlas? That's weird. Yellow's in sector 2. It looks like Black Moon has a round. It is. He's got some front wing damage on the left-hand side, so that was very weird there. Garlas has just all of a sudden dropped pace, so well, whether he's had a controller issue or something, but Anthro gets past Black Moon. So McLaren's not having a great day at the moment. I dare say Black Moon will probably have to come into the pit lane. But still Hold Up Man Dan that leads the way, 1.9 seconds over Semi-Pro. He's now got a little bit of a margin now over Garlas. Albino Josh, 3-second time penalty as Black Moon is in the lane. That's Dan the Racer in 4th, Drow 5th. Delayed Lade's starting to close into these guys, so it looks like he's got some good speed on the soft compactor tyres. Wanted to have a decent result if he wants to get a highest position in the championship, of course. There's Tent Sandals, Trent in 7th. Pros Professor still here in 8th. Reedy 9th. Just starting to form a train a little bit here. Albino Josh Brand's at your 10, and Black Moon has gone onto the hard compactor tyres. Should come back out ahead of his teammate. Should be able to make it to the end. Actually, might be pretty tight here between the two McLaren boys. Very tight, actually. Actually, Josh may get the move done, but Black Moon will probably may get that spot back a little bit later on. Now that margin's extended even more to 2.8 seconds between Hold Up Man Dan and Semi-Pro. He's now back under attack from Garlas. Up the inside goes Delayed Late on Drow. Oh, there's a little bit of contact there. He was trying to do a crisscross there was Drow, but couldn't quite do it. So Delayed Late gets 5th spot. Can he hang on to it is the next question, because he might come under attack down here on the back straight. He'll have to try and break the DRS slipstream. Just manages to do so for now. So now he'll try and chase back after Dan the Racer here to maybe try and go for 5th spot. Oh, sorry, for 4th spot, I should say. And this is a train starting to form here. Garlas now 3-second time penalty, so that's not going to help things either. Just see that Red Bull in the background. We're starting to catch this group here. There's a few groups starting to form here, actually. The other one's being formed sort of behind, well, Tent Sandals and with Pros Professor and Reedy. And also these guys are catching Drow. Go back aboard here. Garlas into the DRS. Probably be burning a lot of ERS, but he can't get it done. Oh, as he goes for a late move up the inside. We'll have to go to the outboard shot here. It's going to be hard to do it around the outside. He just manages to hang on, and he'll get the DRS importantly, so that's very critical. But how much straight line speed has he got? It's going to be tight, but Semi-Pro actually does it around the outside without DRS. I do believe it gets back 2nd spot. That's incredible stuff there. They must have some good straight line speed in that Ferrari. Dan the Race is now in this battle as well. Garlas goes very wide. Need to save up that ERS a little bit more, Garlas. I'll answer your question in a minute, Supercharge, but we're keeping an eye on this battle here. Keep an eye on this one. Reedy closing into the back of Pros Professor. And Trent is hanging on to Drow, so he'll get the DRS. This is probably when the mediums start to get into their window. 4.6 seconds. These guys battling. This is just allowing Hold Up Man Dan to just pull away quite a bit. As there goes Garlas back up the inside again. He's going to have to do it around the outside, but again, he can't quite do it. It's a 3-second time penalty for somebody. I think it might have been Trent, actually. Now, side by side, this could nearly be 3 wide if they're not careful. That's not the right camera shot. There's a little bit of contact. And Semi-Pro hangs on. But now, I think they're side by side here. Up we go to the hill. And Dan, the Racer, does get the move for the podium. So, that was entertaining to say the least. But for a moment, they're going to go through. Oh, there's contact. He's Delayed Late, literally pushed Garlas through the corner, and now he's got front wing damage. Just outbraked himself just a bit too much, and this is going to cost him now. He'll drop back pretty much to these guys, Drow and probably Trent as well. Oh, God, that was a little bit close for comfort there. Just trying to give him a squeeze. That's not going to help his cause out. Don't want to have some stewards' inquiries for the last round of the season. Oh, he's literally being pushed by Drow. You think he has to come into the pit lane. I don't understand why he need to be held up anyway. But anyway, Dan gets up the inside. The racer, I should say, on semi-pro. Here comes Garlaz. There's contact. These guys are giving everything they can in this final round of the season. But now it's the two Dans up the front of the field at the moment. Hold up man Dan still leading the way. 5.3 seconds at margin over Dan the racer. And semi-pro, Drow's got a 3-second time penalty. Garlaz is in 4th, then it's Drow. There's Tent Sandals, Trent in 6th. Reedy in 7th now. He's got past Prost Professor. I think we're too worried about... Here I was keeping an eye on those battles in the front there, but they've got through. Albino Josh 9th and James Cruz round out your top 10. Maybe dropping a few more frames again, so I sincerely apologise once again. As Anthro in 11th, delayed late, has to go into the hard competitor tyres. So obviously now changed the front wing, so he'll have to take those to the end as the two McLaren boys switch around now. So Black Moon now finally gets past Josh Sambin. He's on very worn, soft competitor tyres. The semi-pro is in the pit lane. I don't know which way to look here as Trent goes up the inside of Drow. Thinks about it, trying to do the crisscross. Oh, there's contact between those two. Did that give Trent wing damage, I wonder? I've just looked away for a slight bit. I don't know whether he did or not. Yes, he did. There's an end plate missing on the right-hand side, so they say they're not going to be too thrilled with each other afterwards. Semi-pro's in and out, so he's on to the hard competitor tyres. So he'll be going a long way. What's this battle? Trent and Reedy. I don't think Trent will fight too much because he have to try and push on, but now this changes his strategy up potentially. Considering he started on the medium competitor tyres, and if he'd been on the softs, he probably would have been able to make a pit stop, but now he's on the mediums. He might have to change strategy and go to the hards, or just keep pushing until he can get to the safe window for the softs. These guys still continuing on by the looks of things as Garlaz makes his way into the pit lane. Slow down to 80k. Yes, he does. As Reedy does follow him. And Albino Josh does as well. It just takes it nice and cautiously into the pit lane. That's not the pit lane line. This one is, unfortunately, Albino Josh. But what do we got? Garlaz mediums. Reedy's gone for the hard competitor tyres. So who else we got? Albino Josh. What is he going? Mediums. There's semi-pro. So you couldn't quite get the jump there, but of course you'll have the grippier tyres. That relatively fresh air, and there's delayed late, who's just coming around turn 3 now as we speak. So where are these guys at? 6.5 seconds the margin between the two Dans. Probably one of the first times I think I've said that this season. Hold up man Dan and Dan the racing, and Drow in 3rd, Prost Professor 4th, Trent still pushing on in 5th. Probably he'll have to make a wing change. James Cruz now 6th and Anthro in 7th. First car that's pitted is semi-pro. Into the lane now as the race leader. Just takes it nice and cautiously into the lane as Drow now follows as well. Down to 80k, very nice. The Prost Professor as well. I'm going to assume it's mediums. No, hard competitor tyres for hold up man Dan. Interesting. Would have thought about this stage of the race, you would have gone the mediums. Drow's definitely gone the mediums. Where's Prost? He's gone the hards. Okay. I was a little bit surprised about that one, but Dan should. Where is Dan? Here he is. Should maintain the lead of the race effectively, and he does. So what's happened here? I think there's been a switch around. Hasn't there? There's Garlaz, I'm pretty sure was behind semi-pro. That's been a changed position. I've missed that somewhere along the line. I don't know when that happened, but anyway, Garlaz has been under fueled as well. There's one of the blanks has got a 3-second time penalty. It's delayed late, so he gets 6 seconds now. Drow's now cleared semi-pro. This probably is why semi-pro's dropped off the pace. I think he's got wing damage. He does. So I wonder where he's done that. So this is going to cost him here. He might have to make an unscheduled pit stop here. Now it allows both the Alphas to pretty much be in their own positions. And the racer now takes the race lead as there's one of the McLarens. It's Josh Sambin for the hard competitive times, but he'll be now lapped because he'll get the blue flags. And he probably will get that lap back once Dan the racer does pit. Semi-Pro now retires in the pit lane. Oh, what a shame. That's a real shame there for Semi. He looked like he had pretty decent pace all around, but something's occurred that I've missed. But, that's not the way to end the season. It's been not the greatest of seasons all round for Ferrari. Where is he? Where was he in the championship? Was he even in? Yeah, hang on, let me... where is he? Semi-Pro. Oh, he's a reserve driver. That'd probably be why. So he's 11th in the championship. So doubtful he might get jumped, but you never know. So when does Dan pit? It'll probably be about now because it's about half race distance. Going to slow down to about 80k. Nicely done. So that'll allow Trent Sandals to take the race lead. The leading medium compound time runner. He's still pushing on even with the wing damage. The question mark on whether he changes that at the next stop. But Dan the racer leaves the lane now. Still got Trent leading the lane now. James in the second. They're still yet to pit, and Anthro as well. They're still yet to pit. Oh, that was sideways and a half there. I just caught the back end of that one with Dan the racer. He's going to drop in behind, just ahead of Reedy, but it looks of it just. But he's on the freshest mediums. There's Drowell and Anthro still finding a way. Drowell gets another 3-second time penalty. Won't be pressing Drowell, I don't think. So he wants to try and get past Anthro. This is technically not a race within because they're on different strategies. And Anthro can maybe still fight for position if he wants, but technically it means nothing. He's yet to pit, obviously. Semi-Pro leads the session. Oh, nice red Xing there. Jesus. I don't know whether that was me or what, but I'll try and answer your question shortly, Supercharged. I'm trying to, keeping an eye on battles as we go right, left and centre. It looks like Hold Up Man Dan is closing into the back of James Cruz for the second spot. So I think that's Trent maybe getting a 3-second time penalty. It is, so up the inside. Oh, Dan round the outside. Where did that come from? Yeah, that came from nowhere. I think they caught everyone by surprise, including me. It's Garlaz. What the hell's Garlaz in AI for? What the hell's going on? Up the inside goes Drow. What is happening? Garlaz is in AI mode. What's going on here? He's dropping spots here. Reedy's got past. He's got a I'm not sure whether Garlaz is on a wheel or controller, but has he got issues? Actually, he does jump aboard Reedy. He's back. Not in AI mode, so... Oh, wow, this has changed. I think there'll be a change of position here shortly because James Cruz will probably be overtaken here shortly by the effective race leader. Just got to be cautious here. Hold up, man, Dan. Very nice as James, I think, just pulls into the pit lane, so nicely done. That's the wrong pit line. It's the second one, unfortunately, James. A lot of people do get caught out with some pit lane lines, so it's either not the first one, it's the second one. So there's Dan, the racer, gets past Drow for third. Should be effectively second once Trent Sandals pits as Garlo has another 3-second time penalty, so something's really gone awry with him. I'm very puzzled at the current moment as Prost Professor's trying to get past Anthro. But who do I reckon should move up to Tier 3? Well, definitely the champion elect, which pretty much is Trent Sandals. Probably should, because with the way his season's gone. But, you know, probably don't rule out both Alpha boys. Alpha Romeo, that is. I know Garlas is reserved in a few Tier 3 races there this season, so, I mean, don't be surprised if he makes the jump up next season. Maybe Dan the Racer as well. Could be another one. El Tonki, I'd probably maybe say the top 4 in the championship, which is currently Trent Sandals, Hold Up Man Dan, Garlas, and Dan the Racer. Not sure about El Tonki. Maybe James Cruz as well if he wants to. Goes up the inside now as Trent now finally pits. So he probably might get a wing change. Garlas and Drowell trying to swap positions. Garlas now sets the fastest lap of the race. But he is going to get the wing change. It's going to cost him a little bit of time here, is Trent. Reedy gets a 3-second time penalty. He was trying to get apart. I thought he was close with this battle with Ian Drow, with Garlas and Drow, but no, that's not the case. Garlas is trying to get past Drow, but no can do. But going back to what I was saying earlier, don't be surprised there may be a few others if they want to make the jump up to Tier 3. Well, take advantage of it. Obviously, yes, you're going to be with the quicker guys, but if you want to take advantage of it, why not, really? So, but I'd probably say the top 4, maybe. If not, maybe a couple more. Don't know whether El Tonki would want to make a jump up to Tier 3. You never know, he might. So he might want to stick around in Tier 4 because I know he's the lead coordinator in Tier 4. So anyway, 7.2 seconds this margin at the front. Looking like hold-up man Dan's to lose here at this rate. But anything downwards is pretty much anyone's game, although time penalties may cost these guys. Bit of a lock up there. Dan the Racer's second and Drow third, Garlas fourth, and Reedy leading the Merc charge in a nice 5th place. A very nice job from Reedy. Hopefully you're watching El Tonki because your teammate's doing you proud at the moment. I think this will be Reedy's. Well, I don't want to put the mocker on him too early, but will this be potentially? No, not quite. Reedy's best position finishing results. He had a 4th back at United States, so not quite. Unless he made up 2 more spots, then he could get his best result with a podium. This panel's anybody's to go by here. But of course, penalties may cost, well, these guys especially. Not Dan the Racer. If he just keeps in front, he's pretty much in the right spot. That's a great shot, isn't it? But if Reedy keeps it nice and clean, then he'd be in a good shot for still the podium. Anyway, he keeps within with these guys. Strau's got 9 seconds, and Garlo's got 6 seconds. You never know, time penalties could get removed afterwards at the stewards, so. And then Reedy with 3 seconds. And Prost Professor's got nothing, although he's dropped away a little bit and might come under attack from Delayed Late there in the Red Bull. Of course, pitted earlier. James Cruz on fresh softs and sets the fastest lap of the race at 9.599. So he's up into 8th. As well, Trent now beats them at a 9.524, so keep an eye on him. He'll be wanting to make up some ground here, as Delayed Late has cleared Prost Professor now for 6th. It was a little bit sideways there coming out of the corner, but if you guys and girls are watching this back, let me know in the live chat, who do you reckon should make the move up potentially to Tier 3? There probably maybe a few guys that could obviously drop back to Tier 4, obviously. Well, probably be dependent, obviously, on how quick they are, maybe what assists they use as well. So, because you never know, some people could have put assist back on or turn assist off. You never know, really. I'm definitely keeping my no assist because that's the way I drive. Have been pretty much since I started league racing. So Carlos is back up in the 3rd spot now. He's cleared Drow. While that battle was going on, now he's putting pressure on Dan the Racer to try and get back the Alfa Romeo 1-2. Although they'd need to pull out a 9-second gap to make that happen. Or with that corner cut, that's not going to help things. That was a massive corner cut there. So he's literally trying his best here to get back an Alfa Romeo 1-2. That's tight. Oh, that looked very close there. We'll jump aboard with the Alfa Romeo driver. And he's a little bit tight on fuel as well. So you want to be cautious with that as Dan goes wide. Got to give each other racing room, although Garlos doesn't put up much of a fight there. And Drow gets a 3-second time penalty as well. So this is costing these guys. Reedy's probably in their best spot here. And they never know, Delayed Late could make a play for this fight here as well. Although he's got more penalties, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he's got 6 seconds. So Garlos 6, Drow 12, Reedy 3, and 6 also for Delayed Late. You need to really push to catch up to this group. Prost Professor and James Cruz can get past as well. They'd be in a good position to maybe gain some spots as well. So penalties could affect how the final race results look like. But still, hold up man Dan, 7 seconds clear of this group. Garlas all over the back here of Dan the Racer. He might go for the move here. We could look at the back of the Alfa Romeo as he gets in the dirt a little bit, does Dan. As they've literally got nothing left in the tank here. That's tight. just giving each other racing room. Just pushed a little bit wide there as Dan. And that has allowed Garlaz to get second spot back. Whether that was fair or not, we'll have to wait and see. Don't do anything silly. That was a risky one, and now that's cost Dan 3 spots in the end. So he's back down to 5th now. But he's still looking in a good position to maybe get back second spot. If he keeps penalty clean for the rest of this race. Just pretty much needs to stay with this group. But if these guys keep fighting, then this will bring, like I said, Delayed back into the fight as well. He's in 6th, Prof Professor 7th. There's James Cruz in 8th, the leading soft compound runner. And Albino Josh in 9th, and Trent Sandals is slowly but surely closing up to the back of Albino Josh. But if he didn't have that front wing damage, imagine where he would have been potentially higher up this grid. He could have been fighting for that spot on the podium, potentially. And it's Anthro in 11th, and then the 2 McLaren boys are in 12th and 13th. Josh Salmon is a lap down now, I think, because the leaders got past him. Where's this battle group at? This is the shot we need, ladies and gentlemen. I'd love to see helicopter camera shots a lot more in the next game. Like, you get the odd few, but we'd definitely like a lot more in the next game, that is for sure. But yeah, again, I'm not holding my breath on that one. Of course, Garlaz has got to keep an eye on that fuel as well, because he's really tight at the moment. He's Reedy, that was a bit wide, but I think he's got into 3rd spot here, actually. So I've missed a few things potentially, have I? We got past Drow, but I think I've missed that one somewhere along the line. So he's on the podium here at the moment, is Reedy. He's still on track as there's Drow up the inside. Out of Merck podium as Drow gets another time penalty. As Reedy goes very wide coming out of Curva de Sol. He'll still hang on, obviously, because he got the DRS off Garlaz. So this will help him out massively. He had a podium last week for El Tonki. Obviously not second in the end, because obviously they got Garlaz got his 3-second time penalty removed, so he got back second, and El Tonki got dropped back to 3rd. But it's been a nice way to end for the Merck boys, wouldn't it, to have both of the drivers on the podium in the last 2 races of the season. Nearly difficult tracks, you would say. Again, I do apologise, guys, if there's dropped frames along the way or buffering or whatnot, but you just have to put up with it. I thought it was going to improve, but maybe not. Like I said, there's a bit of weather around, so that's probably not helping things. So Dan's just in a league of his own here at the moment. 8.4 seconds clear of his teammate. These spots are not finalised. Dan the racer looked like he was going all over the shop there, trying to put some drivers off, but no. Mainly the driver in front of him, Drow. That's not the case. And Delayed, I thought he would have made a play potentially, but doesn't really look like he's got the pace. Although saying that, he's been on these hards for a little bit longer. If he didn't have the front wing damage, he probably would still be in this fight for these positions. Well, as it stands currently, I think the racer would get second spot, and Reedy probably would hold on to a podium, barring any mishaps, obviously. Donut would get a time penalty as there's contact between Drow and Reedy. That's not going to help Drow because he's got front wing damage now. So that might, well, definitely effectively may put him out of the podium positions. But now it's going to cost him now with the downforce, because he'll struggle through corners. You can see going through the left-hander there at 11 into Jung Chao. He'll be really struggling as he's dropped the weight. Sorry, Reedy's pulled away now from Drow as there goes down the race. They have to go around the outside. Give each other racing room, lads. Just managed to do so. But Dan, the race is back into 4th. Still looking on track for 2nd at the moment in the race. On lap 30 of 36. As Garlaz goes very wide. Reedy trying to go for a move, but probably just want to play it safely here because doesn't really need to do anything, except don't do that. Drow gets another 3-second time penalty, and Josh Sambin also gets a 3-second time penalty as well. Down to 13th spot. A little bit sideways up the top of the hill. Where's this battle at? James Cruz is closing in for 7th spot. It really look like Trent may have the pace at the moment. Albino Josh maybe starting to close in. Oh, Reedy, another 3-second time penalty. That's not going to help your cause. Where do we look at? So it's pretty much even Stevens now with he and Garlas. So if it stayed like this, well, Dan DeRosa would get 2nd, and Garlas would hang on to a podium. Basically now Reedy has got to get past Garlas to hang on to a podium. Although saying that, he's under attack from Dan DeRosa. Going around the outside into turn 1. I don't think it's much of a fight, really. Reedy's going to fight hard, but he can't do it. Dan DeRosa hangs on as he gets a 3-second time penalty. Oh, there's contact between Reedy. Might have been Drowell in that one as well. James Cruz gets a 3-second time penalty. There's plenty of people now getting penalties. That may have cost Reedy now a podium chance. He'll have to push on. He's dropped away a little bit. He's now actually back behind this group. While he'll be struggling now. He's got wing damage on the right-hand side, so this will be really not helping his cause. As James Cruz gets by Frost Professor. Probably had to get the push and shove out a little bit, but he gets 7th spot. This could help him out, and also, well, keep an eye on Frost Professor, because he could jump a few spots here as well. Well, maybe a couple of spots, because obviously the group is a bit further up the road. Dan DeRosa still on track for that 2nd spot at the current moment, barring any mishaps or another time penalty. As Frost gets back past James Cruz. They go side by side here into the final couple of corners onto the front straight. Wide turn 15 is a corner, I don't know why. But James now gets 7th spot. Yellows in sector 1, that's probably just the McLaren in the background it is. Josh Sambin just pulling out of the road. Very nice job, even though when you're a blue flag car, your car gets ghosted, so it doesn't really matter too much. Now Reedy under attack from Delayed Late. He'll try and hang on for as best he can, but he'll probably dropping a couple of spots towards the end. Drow's probably not going to hang on to a podium. At this rate, it's very much a battle between these two for who finishes where. And of course, I said, barring any mishaps, obviously Dan DeRosa will finish 2nd in the race. He's already got 4th in the championship, I'm pretty sure. But looking at the moment, Reedy another time penalty, so that's not going to help his cause either. So it's now 9 seconds worth. At this rate, he'll be dropping a few spots. Double ball with Dan DeRosa. Got the DRS open down into the centre S. Not quite close enough. He can just stay behind here at the moment. Doesn't really need to fight. Meanwhile, hold up man Dan is just pretty much on his own here at the moment. 9 seconds, nearly 10-second margin over his teammate. So looking likely to pick up his 3rd victory of the year. As he had a double, took 2 race wins at both at Mexico and Spain. He's had 2 fourths the last couple of races back at Monaco and Japan. But this will be a good way to finish off the season. And that will definitely confirm he'll claim 2nd in the championship over his teammate. Well, this definite rate, yes, he will be claiming 2nd in the championship. It's Garlows in 2nd, Dan DeRosa 3rd, Drow 4th, Reedy 5th. Just starting to pull away here from Delayed Late. Whereas Frost Professor and James Cruz are still battling, although saying that, James and Trent were close to each other there. Oh, James getting very sideways there. Has he got, what's going on with James? He's got damage. A bit hard to tell, really. I need to jump aboard with his car here. No, he hasn't got damage. Might be a bit tight for fuel potentially, but he's under attack from Trent. For potentially 8th spot. There's Frost Professor there in the foreground. As the grass gets kicked up all over the camera. James, another 3-second time penalty. Oh, it's looked a little bit close there and a little bit of ghosting, actually. Oh, Trent going way off into the grass there. It's not the greatest of runs, unfortunately. Where's this battle at? Delayed Late and Reedy. Just enough room, and Delayed Late gets 5th place back. Now can probably start to close that gap to Drowell there, because he's probably still a chance of claiming 4th in this race. This is just starting to phase out. Cannot, Dan the Racer can't afford to get out to 3 seconds, otherwise Garlaz will hang on and claim that Alfa Romeo 1-2 in this race. So keep that DRS just. He was getting narrowly close to losing it there, so you can just see it's just toing and throwing quite a bit in that 9/10 range. It's just hanging on to that DRS. I think Trent's now cleared James. He has. So that's 8th spot now for the champion-elect. So now you can see whether he can chase after Prost Professor. Probably be all in vain because there's only 1.5 to 2 laps to go here, depending on where they are on the track. He's just in pretty much, or don't throw it all away now. Hold up, hand Dan. That'll be the last thing. If anything, you've got to maybe help your teammate pull away the 3 seconds. If you have any chance of claiming that Alfa Romeo 1-2, won't be bad if it's a 1-3, but they'd probably love to have a 1-2 to finish off the season. Who knows, maybe if the Williams had a second driver, they probably would have been pushing Alfa Romeo the whole way in this Constructors' Championship. As we set off now for one final time in the Brazilian Grand Prix in Season 4, Pacific Tier 4. There's yellows in Sector 2. I think that's Josh Sandman, who's not having the greatest of day. He's already a lap down. Oh, there's contact between these two! Dan the Racer and Garlaz! Oh dear, oh dear. I think Dan was trying to wait up for Garlaz to catch up, but he's dropping a bunch of spots, is Garlaz. Where is he? He's back to 9th. And I think he may have got front wing damage. Might be tight for fuel as well. Oh dear, that one's going to maybe a Stewart's inquiry, I think. So now this has all changed. That margin's now gone out, so the chance of the Alfa Romeo 1-2 is now gone. But this man's just pretty much been in cruise control ever since he took the lead off his teammate. He's just been pulling away and pulling away and pulling away. His yellow flags in Sector 2. I think it's the McLaren. But it's going to be Hold Up Man Dan, who takes his 3rd win of the season and will claim 2nd in the championship in Pacific Tier 4. So well done to him. Who finishes in 2nd? Well, who knows? It's going to be Drow. It's going to finish this race on the road in 2nd, but he'll probably drop down the field once the penalties kick in. And question marks on Dan the Racer. He'll go and claim 2nd in the race, but whether he'll get up a penalty or not, who knows. Prost gets onto the podium in 2nd spot ahead of Dan the Racer. What a drive. No penalties really helped him out there. There's a lot of stuff to play out, I dare say. That one's going to be a tough one to talk out. They might chat this one out, maybe potentially. But I can sense why Dan was slowing up and just waiting for Garlaz maybe to try and give him the spot back, but it's cost them big time. Garlaz back all the way down into 9th place, and Drowell ended up in 10th after penalties, after finishing in 2nd spot. As we wait on Black Moon to finish as the final car. So that is pretty much done and dusted in the Pacific Series. There's Trent, so no surprise, gets the driver of the day. No, probably no surprise at all. He came from 14th on the grid and finished up in 5th, so that's a fair, good recovery drive. Imagine if he didn't have the front wing damage, how far up the road he would have been. But there's Alpha Mick doing a bit of celebrations. So well done to Dan, Hold Up Man Dan. I nearly said the wrong Dan there for a second, but claims the final race win of the season, and like I said, claims 2nd in the championship. It's great to see both the racing points on the podium, although it might be a question mark or an asterisk on Dan the Racer. We'll wait and see on that one, but you won't see the final race results anyway with the championship standings. But Hold Up Man Dan, domination victory. Started on the second position, but wins the race by a comfortable 18 seconds over Prost Professor, who kept it clean and got himself a podium, so well done to him. Dan the Racer, a bit of an asterisk, like I said, in 3rd. Delayed late, good recovery from him in 4th. Trent finishes 5th and gets the fastest lap of the race, so he'll get the bonus point. James Cruz in 6th, Reedy in 7th, Albino Josh in 8th, Garlaz 9th in the end, and Drow rounds out your top 10. With Anthro in 11th, Blackburn in 12th, and Josh Sandman in 13th, a lap down, and a semi-pro. And F1 boy who DNF'd out of this race. So, oh my God, you guys just never fail to amaze me what you guys can do if you any of the Tier 4 boys are watching this one back. I'm going to just check quickly to see if anything has gone down anyway, but nothing as of yet. So, but it's the last race of the season, so hopefully there won't be too many hot heads after this one. But anyway, it is what it is. We'll go and have a look at the showroom, and we'll bring up the Williams car once again, because it pretty much is a Williams domination. Although saying that, Alfa Romeo obviously did win this race, of course, but overall in the championship, it was the Williams car. That's not what I wanted. I want to show you the theatre mode. There we go. There's the Williams car. But I just got to say a big thank you to everybody who tuned in for to have a look at, to watch the Tier 4 side of things. I know I only joined these guys. Well, I mean, I could have done a few races earlier on, but I pretty much joined from Mexico, and I've been astounded with these guys with their driving. But no doubt you'll be definitely seeing most of these guys. I say some of these guys could make their way up into Tier 3 for next season. And like I probably said that in the same similar fashion for Tier 3, some of them could move to Tier 2. You never know. We'll wait and see for that one. But I'm not sure if any of the other Pacific tiers have finished, but if they haven't, go check them out or go watch the replays of them, their live streams for Tier 2, Tier 1 and Tier 3 from earlier on. But big thank you to everybody. Big shout out to old Tonki, who of course is the league coordinator for Tier 4, and I mentioned it earlier. Big thank you to players and all the gang that put all the work together behind the scenes sort of thing, like getting all the tiers sorted, and commentators and whatnot, done a great job all round. And no doubt I'll be working with a lot of you in Season 5 next season. But big thank you to all the guys for all the racing entertainment I had throughout those last few races. And I don't know, like I said, whereabouts I'll be in commentary wise, or whether race, because I definitely want to, I said this in Tier 3 earlier, but I definitely want to continue racing next season, obviously. But and obviously commentary wise, like I said, I don't know where I'll end up, but probably depending on where I race will probably be where I commentate next season. So big thank you to everybody for all the drivers that turned up as well. But big thank you to everybody for watching the live streams. I really appreciate all the support as always. Smash the like button if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the Race Spec Esports channel if you haven't already. Turn on the bell notification so you don't miss out on a live stream notification. Doesn't matter whether it's F1 or the GT Sport or whatever else they put on. Just keep an eye out for that one. But all the social media channels, if you want to go follow their social media channels, they're down in the description. So keep your eyes peeled on when Season 5 will begin. I dare say it'd probably be rough guess August. At a rough guess on when it will start. It could be pushed back a little bit depending on how many glitches there are in the next game. Knowing how lucky, it'll probably be the same thing. So, anyway, and if you want to come and join the league to prepare yourself for F1 2021, there's a link down to the Discord channel below. Hopefully it still works, and there's also a link to the GT Sport channel if you're into that as well. There's a link down there as well. If you want to come and follow me on my social media channels, they're down in the description as well as my YouTube. I'll probably have to get clarity on whether I can upload some of these races, because I do stream and record these, so I'll have to get clarity on whether I can actually upload some of these races onto my personal YouTube channel. So, big thank you to everybody for tuning in. That's probably where we'll end it now. Tune in. I don't know whether there'll be any Euro streams or not, but if there is, be sure to tune in for them. They'll be tomorrow morning for me, like a Wednesday morning, but it'll be Tuesday night in Euro. Same, it'll be Wednesday Arvo, late morning Arvo for when the Americas tier. No doubt Smeg will finish that. See that's commentary off for them. And tune in on Sunday for one last time in Season 4 when we'll have the Race Spec Leagues to finish off Season 4. But that's pretty much it, I must say. But yeah, until the next time we meet each other, it is goodbye.